Alright everybody, so we've gotten an expanded look at the Battlefield 6 Portal, and I can say from what we've been seeing so far, it looks absolutely amazing. If you don't know what Portal is, it's not something new to Battlefield as a franchise, but basically it's sort of like a custom editor, ways for players to make different experiences, create different maps and things like that. You've got servers and you can play on other people's Portal creations and make your own. However, Battlefield 6 is taking it to the next level, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today, so let's just get right on into it. Now, if you've played Battlefield before, you'll know that Portal isn't a new system. We had it back in Battlefield 2042, but as you also may know, 2042 had pretty much a disastrous launch, and there were a lot of issues with that game overall, but the Portal experience was probably one of the better parts of Battlefield 2042. However, with Battlefield 6, Portal is going to be even more in-depth, expansive, and basically almost like an entire dev experience within Battlefield. So we've got a ton of details to go through when it comes to Portal. Obviously this isn't everything, but we're gonna know at launch how expansive it is, but for now this is what we do know. Portal is expanded to give players basically something similar to what the developers are doing. You've got a special editing system, which means that you can now mess with the geometry of existing maps and move elements around. So yes, you can make brand new, completely different maps if you want, or you can just simply edit the existing maps that are available in Battlefield 6. It's totally up to you. There's also going to be AI capabilities like horde mode and things like that, which the developers have described in a way as light programming. Basically put, there are endless possibilities. The UI system is also customizable in Portal this time around, so it's not just like editing text anymore. It's nothing basic. You've got totally broad options. Devs working on it say that they actually created a buy station and all of that, and you can do this with Portal. Someone even created Pong using this sort of customizable UI, which is absolutely insane to see in an FPS game like this, but they are going for power over accessibility with Portal. It's definitely going to be a bit of a complicated experience, and that's just to make it customizable and super in-depth, because the devs wanted to make it a full-on, very in-depth sort of thing. They didn't want it to be watered down, because the less powerful you make it, obviously the more watered down it's going to have to be, so they know that it's going to be hard and they acknowledge that it's going to be complicated. However, they will be adding some sort of introductory guides and things like that so that they can make it a little bit easier for new people to work on it, but they said there's going to be a learning curve. They are working on a blank sort of canvas map to give new people a head start, or to actually just kind of tinker around with it, but this sort of blank canvas might be releasing sometime after the launch period. You can also create your own experiences through mutators. You can create things like hardcore mode, increase the lethality, remove the HUD, etc. It's totally up to you. It's your experience entirely. It's going to be a super powerful system. It's a web-based browser editor that you can access on PC, tablet, mobile, things like that. You can even access browser on some consoles. There's going to be over 100 settings. They do recommend that you use a PC for building, just because you're going to want a bigger screen and you're going to want a little more power. I mean, it's obviously going to take up a lot of resources, but Portal itself can be enjoyed on PC, Xbox, PS5. So basically wherever the game is, you can try it there. You can set the game mode and the map rotations, things like health regeneration, class, weapon and gadget restrictions, health pools, player counts, etc. All of that is 100% in your hands as the Portal creator. There's also a spatial editor feature. This is going to let you transform, rotate, scale options, redraw combat zones. I mean, so basically take the maps that are in Battlefield 6, resize them, change where the combat zones are, change where certain things can be, change the placement of buildings. That's 100% up to you as well. One of the coolest things that they announced for Portal is the fact that XP is going to be gained through Portal experiences. So I'll explain that a little bit more here. So custom experiences and verified experiences are going to be in Battlefield 6's Portal. Custom experiences will gain XP based on the time spent in the servers, with a few steps removed from the core Battlefield experience. Verified experiences will gain full XP, just like a standard Battlefield core game. Hardcore servers and some 20 24/7 game mode servers will have normal XP. So you're not just playing to play, you're actually going to be gaining XP just as you would when you're playing Battlefield 6 as a standard multiplayer game, which is absolutely great, and it incentivizes people to make and play around with Portal. I feel this is definitely a great thing to hear, but one of the really awesome things about Battlefield 6's Portal experience is that you can actually run one persistent Portal server and you don't need to be online for it to stay online. This is a big deal because you don't need to pay just to create a persistent server anymore. So long as you own any version of Battlefield 6, you can run that server and people can play it at any time. You don't even need to be online for that, which is absolutely spectacular to hear. There are some things that they are working on possibly adding into Portal, but they're not 100% confirmed. But if they're confirmed, this would take it to a whole new level on its own. For instance, it's going to be possible to put AI pathing tools to create scripted cinematics. Now that would be insane to see. Not only that, but there are possible additions of things like terrain control, lighting, mixing certain assets in future updates, weather patterns. Honestly, with what's already in Battlefield 6's Portal experience, this is one of the few FPS games that took customization for players this far, even more than Halo and things like that. It feels sort of like the Far Cry arcade. If you ever played Far Cry, you probably know about that. You can change quite a lot. You can recreate popular Battlefield experiences. You can create new ones. Some people want to create stuff from Modern Warfare. Some people want to create stuff from Dust, anything. Basically, you can pretty much do anything. And for the most part, it sounds really cool that the developers of Battlefield 6 are putting this amount of effort into Portal, because it does, like I said earlier, make this experience a lot more engaging and more enticing for people who maybe they just weren't really interested in Portal before, or they kind of want to try it out this time. For the most part, what I'm seeing from Battlefield 6 is a lot of good stuff. I mean, the multiplayer is great. Portal looks absolutely amazing. The campaign is probably, I would say, the most lackluster thing I've seen so far. If you haven't heard anything about the campaign yet, it's a little bit what some of the people who've played it are saying, rushed, like it wasn't a fully fleshed out experience. It might be around 4 to 6 hours in length. It looks like the reason for the campaign issue is because the original team that was working on it was removed, and so they kind of had to rush through it a bit. And I mean, I heard that there are some issues with the AI. Some of the people who played the campaign early said that there was a mission that was just trying to copy Modern Warfare 2019's Clean House, I think it was what it was called. But for the most part, I never personally played Battlefield for the campaign. I don't recall really playing the campaign in Battlefield that much. If you care about the campaign a lot, like it's a deal breaker for you, then this might be a little bit disappointing. But personally, I think it's an FPS campaign experience. It's not going to be super innovative. And at the end of the day, if the multiplayer is solid, if Portal is solid, there's supposed to be a battle royale mode, which we haven't really gotten too many official details on just yet. But I mean, if you care about battle royale, there's going to be one as well. It's just sort of like Battlefield 5's Firestorm. It does look like Battlefield 6 is doing a solid job this year, but we'll just have to wait and see on October 10 when the game launches. It looks like the servers are ready. I'm excited. Let me know in the comments below if you are as well. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss another upload. And that's all for today, folks.